Chapter 10, Further Use of the Will. Chapter 10, rather like Chapter 9, is about focus. And in focusing on what you want, you have to be very mindful that you're not focusing on reality or on the opposite of what you want. So as you live your life, you come across things that you don't like, and these are the things that help you to decide what it is that you do want in life. So it's obviously an important part, but you mustn't get lost in the I know what I don't want bit of the equation. Always make sure that you're focusing on what you want rather than the opposite. So you look into the world, you watch the news, you see all sorts of things that are other than you would like them to be. It's easy to get bogged down in that stuff, but you have to be aware that your focus is all that matters here. You need to be focusing on what you want. So people might look at you and say, well, you're living in an imaginary dream world. You're not watching the news anymore. You're not getting stuck into the dark and gloomy stories or problems of life. You just want to hold your vision of what you want, or to see the world as you want it to be, even though it's not that way. And that is correct. That is the way that it works. So focus is important, focusing on what you want and avoiding any negative stories or anything that's contrary to your vision. So what you're trying to do is form a strong belief. And to do that, you need to think the thoughts continually until they become practiced, and then you can form them into a belief. And then the other side of that is your focus on a specific methodology is important. So there's plenty of similar teachings that you could potentially be looking at. So you might look at this book, read it once, and then say, okay, that was interesting, now I've got to keep reading, I'm going to find another book and read that. And if you do that, you're picking up various different ideas and methods and trying to fit them all together and generally getting confused. I mean, I've been guilty of this as well. So pick one, make it the right one, make a decision and make it the right decision. It's a good way of looking at it. So pick the program and then commit yourself to it. And even if you say to yourself, for the next 12 months, I'm going to apply myself to this wholeheartedly. I won't be looking at anything else. I won't be reading any other material. Once you get the idea that your thoughts do create your reality, you may be tempted to start looking into occultism and things like that. Trying to understand the spirit world and all these kinds of things. So again, don't get stuck into that stuff. Just focus on getting rich, and once you've got rich, once you've proved that it works, then you can focus on these other things and learn about them, and even learn about the how behind this whole idea of metaphysics. And there were some people mentioned in the book. Edison, I think, was one. Schopenhauer. So yeah, keep your mind on the prize and don't be distracted. Help the world. The world has many faults and flaws, but you can help the world by helping yourself. And then once you help yourself and get yourself into a position where you've achieved success and you've got some power and influence, then you're in a better position to help other people. And of course you're not going to help people by giving them charity. What you want to do is to teach them how to get what they want by doing the same thing that you did to get what you want. And this is a bit of a side here, but Jesus, if you strip away all the religious stuff, Jesus was a guy born to parents who had sex, that he wasn't an immaculate conception. His parents were pure of heart, pure of spirit. Maybe that's what they meant by virgin, is kind of a pure, unsullied person. But he grew up, he lived contrast, he lived in a very brutal place. He couldn't stand it. He asked all sorts of questions. He found his connection to God, to source energy, whatever you want to call it. And the answers that came to him, he then taught to other people. And Jesus was the greatest teacher of metaphysics who ever lived. We don't get all of that through the teachings of the Bible. We do get stories, but generally speaking, it's wrapped up in this religious package, which is more about controlling people, and so it gets extremely tainted. And I'm pretty sure if you ask Jesus what he thought about religion, about even Christianity, he would say, yeah, that wasn't really what I had in mind. So yeah, anyway, I'm not sure where I was going with that one, but focus on what you want and keep yourself in a good place. Right.